Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Factorio Beginnings Guide. My name's Negative, and let's get cracking now. It's been about 10 minutes maybe since the last episode. Obviously it'll be a day in between how I release them, but you'll notice that this belt is starting to fill up. That's great. Okay, all of these boilers are now primed and these are working. We've got a steady 180 kilowatts being supplied. Great. Now a couple of quick notes. The way you read this, right, you see that it says performance and available performance. Available performance means that if we needed it, we had 100%. Okay, that's available performance. Performance is how much is actually being used. Okay, so if the performance bar is full and the available performance bar is not full, it means that number one, you don't have enough power, and number two, your steam engines are not working at full capacity. Right, and I'll try and point that out when it happens, because it will happen at some point. Now we need to begin a few things, and for some reason this is really loud. Until I get things sorted, I'll be fooling around with settings and whatnot. Okay, so as I said, you need wood for power poles. As you can see, I'm using quite a lot of them. Now we're going to draw the power down here, because this is nice and convenient for me. We are going to fill all of these up now. Keep them rolling. We're going to run over and we're going to grab some more coal. And while we do this, we're actually going to start our first major constructions. First thing is a radar. A radar is quite important. It's just going to scout out the area for you automatically, so you don't have to go running around. I like that. It's a nice time-saving thing. And we're also going to build a lab. Lastly, we're going to build 10 science packs. 5 and 5. Now, if you right-click on this, it'll build 5 of the item, okay? So I right-clicked on the science pack and it queued up 5 for me. Rightio, so we're going to throw down the radar. It's going to go down here. Now the radar obviously uses power, so you can see now our power usage just spiked. Okay, see how that works? Now by left-clicking on the power network, you can bring up this graph. It gives you an interesting view on how things are going. Now we're also going to throw down the lab as well, and it brings up the technology tree. I'll come back to that in a second. Now what we want to do is I'm going to set up a very, very basic chain. Yeah, just for shits and giggles, right? I'm going to build a box, and I'm also going to build an inserter. Now you notice that just by left-clicking this, it actually queues up everything it needs to build it. So for example, the inserter needs an electronic circuit, a gear wheel, and an iron plate. The circuit needs copper cable. It also needs iron plate, so it builds that, and that's how we do it. Later, when it comes time to automate these things, we will have to do these steps, okay? We will need to do these steps with assembly machines. You may notice that we have no assembly machines, so that is going to be one of our first research topics. Okay, so I'll grab the inserter. Okay, all we need to do is make sure that yellow bar, you see how that's got a yellow bar on it, arrow, just make sure that it points towards whatever you're putting it into. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the 10 science packs in here. Okay? We've got 10 science packs there, and we've got the lab ready to go. So if we press T to bring open the research, we can see we have a bunch of technologies here that we can research. Okay, and there's a lot to do. It's a rather big tree. It's going to take, it'll take a new player somewhere between 15 to 30 hours to research and do everything in the game. So quite a challenge and quite a bit of fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with automation. Okay, if you're on a hostile world, you'll probably want to start with military and maybe even turrets. Okay, military turrets into automation may be one of your your research chain. This is how you would vary things. But for my world and how we're going to do things, we're going to go automation first. You'll see that the inserters start to move science packs for us. Now the science lab will hold 2. When it uses that one, it'll grab another one. See how it just put it in there? And you'll also notice how it has a progress bar. So it has 40%, 30% remaining in that science pack. Our bar is going to tick up gradually here. When it gets to 10, it'll stop. So that's quite nice, and that's working very, very smoothly. Just need to make sure that we keep picking things up. I want to throw that in there. That can keep going. We will need a lot of stone eventually. Because remember, we use stone to build our furnaces, and we're going to upgrade our furnace, our smelting in the very near future. Okay, that will be one thing that we improve in size. I'm just going to grab another burner miner, just really quick and dirty, just to make sure that this we have a nice supply of copper. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm control left clicking, and what that's doing is that's placing as much as it can. Okay, it's placing the full stack. So see that these are all fully fueled now, which is good. That's what we want. Now then, we have our automation research almost done. That's great. We are going to wait until that's done. We're so close to being very well timed. Okay, so that's our automation research. You'll notice now that we have these little assembly machines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build one. I'm going to build two straight away, actually. Actually, I'll build like 3 or 4. Let's just go ham. Let's go crazy. Go crazy with it. Now we possibly... Oh no, we won't. Now by shift left clicking, okay, shift left click will queue up everything that's there. So I just shift left clicked on the small electric pole, and what that's going to do is that's going to queue up everything. You can see down here I've got 27 to build now. And you can see that this takes quite a time. You know, it's not fast to build this. Now I'm going to throw one down there. Just interim, and I'm going to grab the power. I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to put down one there and one here. I'm going to set up a very, very basic production chain. Now this is one of the first ones you'll ever do. You want to set this to iron gear wheels, and you want to set this one to transport belt. Now if we come over here, you'll see that the transport belt takes iron gear wheels and it takes iron plate. Okay, fair enough. So the first step will always be, okay, so we need to create iron gear wheels. All right, let's do that. So you can see here an iron gear wheel takes an iron plate. Now for the moment, we're just going to go really rough and dirty. I have no more wood. Is there any wood easily available? So just like using wood boxes to begin with, because you can burn them later. Yes, I said burn them. Because we'll upgrade most of our things, like everything gets upgraded. It's lovely. Awesome. So we'll grab a box and see that it's just building our power poles right now. And with anything, you just need to break it down into small steps. Do one thing at a time and then go from there. So we have our supply of iron, okay, and it's going to start making gear wheels. That's great. So we need to then put it into the next factory, and we're going to say, right, well, I want to build a transport belt here. And you see that it says, well, this needs iron plate as well. Okay, we'll build another box. We can do this. It's quite easy. Fill it full of iron plate. And you can see that this is now creating belt. Now you notice that it's stopped. What we need to do is we actually need to take it out of the assembly machine, and again we'll put it into a box. And now we have this making transport belt for us automatically, so I don't have to click this to make transport belt anymore. It'll just build it for me. As much iron as I've got, it'll build transport belt for me. Now something else that you want to do is you want to set up your hotbar. Now you want to set this up the same way every single time. Okay, every time you play Factorio, every time you play a new world, you need to set it up the same way. So for example, one is always transport belt for me. Okay? And shift 4 is always a power pole. Shift 5 is generally a big power pole. Rightio, so we've got this building our things for us. That's very nice. The next thing that we want to do is we want to just set up a rough and dirty red science. So you'll notice that red science requires gear wheels and copper plate. Okay. This is doable. This is easy. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it here. Requires gear wheels. Going to give it 100. That's going to start doing this thing. Now it also requires more wood. I'll just build an iron chest. Also requires copper. So now that we've supplied the two things, it'll start working. Now if we put an inserter down, see that it'll all start working. And it's all automated. All works very, very straightforward. Works very nicely. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build optics, because I'm a YouTuber and you need to be able to see what the hell I'm doing. So I'm going to research lights so that I can show you what I'm doing. Now you'll notice that this has run out of iron. Bugger. We'll do that just quickly. Go over here. We'll grab some more iron plate. Grab some more copper. We'll go up and we'll check quickly on our power situation. You can see that it's quite nice. This is full. This is all working very, very nicely. Good. I'll grab some more coal real quick. So I can keep all of these things going. Running. So that's building its things. We've got plenty of transport belt. We've got plenty of red science coming in. It's going to automatically do that for us. It's great. And that's the name of the game, is to automate things and not be building them in your pocket as much as possible. So the next step from here, I think, is to start working on an upgraded smelting facility. Now, I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my factory to the north. I think. This is the map view. If you press M, it brings this up. And you can see here, I'm here in the middle, and this is my power station. This is my little factory. Notice that some of the map has a red tinge to it. That's actually pollution. And did you notice how this just appeared? This is our radar working away for us. Okay, so it just scans sectors slowly, and again, automation. It's not the name of the game. So it's just gradually searching out for us. Now I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the factory north-south. Go north in this direction, because we've got like lots of resources around this area. So if we build like our smelters up here and then go north from here, I think that's a really good idea. Power's right here. And thinking about these kinds of things is important as well, because you want to take the time to consider how's it going to work. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start working through some of the basic stuff. So the next thing that we're going to do though is we're going to grab logistics. Okay, as I said before, if you're in a hostile world, you probably want to grab turrets, armor crafting, and military. But because this is, this is a fairly easy world, we're just going to go straight to logistics. I'm going to click research. It's going to take 20 science packs. We should have enough to build that many. The science packs aren't terribly expensive. The red ones aren't anyway. Alright, let's grab some transport belt. Oh wow, we've got 200 of it. Rightio. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to... How much stone do I have? Plenty. Oh, maybe not. I can go in there. Okay, 80 stone furnaces. You can see why I set up the mining on the stone. As now I have plenty of capacity to build a furnace. A really, really nice smelting setup. Now, unfortunately, I've got rocks everywhere. That's a bit of a bugger. Okay. we will go plan A first. We'll go with another idea first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sketching out how it's going to look. Okay, so this is going to be one input line when I remove the rocks. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to bring in fuel, okay, because remember these furnaces require fuel, and we're going to need to bring in the ores as well. So we need to bring in the iron ore, we need to bring in the copper ore, and we need to smelt it all automatically. And this I won't finish this episode, but I will do a little bit of work off camera to get it all up and mostly running, so that then in the next episode we can just come back and we can just talk about it. The plan is to bring the iron up from this patch to there, and we'll also add this patch and this patch in as well. Now this is a really convenient patch of copper as well. I'll lay this in as well, because why not? We're here and we have plenty of transport belt, which is a lovely feeling. We had plenty of transport belt, which was a lovely feeling. Now we're going to start building some electric mining drills. I'm not bothering to automate these because it's a little bit too complicated for such an early stage. Gonna add another 100 in there. That continues to do its thing. More iron plate, good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to start to place down my mines. Okay. Yep, that's fine. We'll grab all of them, as many as I can build, as we'll need them. Of that much I can guarantee. It's always important just to keep things topped up, keep picking things up. Going to start to run a little bit short on fuel, that's fine. We'll come back to fix that later. Okay, so we've got some mines there. And I'll throw down some mines here on the copper as well. It's a little bit more transport belt. Now, this may have been a little bit gung-ho of me. I'm going to pick all this up. I was thinking, yeah, you know, maybe I'll run it to that patch. But that patch can just be there for the moment. And I'll run the smelters off these other two patches to begin with. And this is the wonderful thing about Factorio, okay? And this is why I'm not ashamed to show you. When you have an idea, and your idea doesn't work out, don't be afraid. Pick it up, change it. Because by changing it, my factory is going to be better. Rightio, so I've got that ready to go. Logistics is nearly completed. Speak of the devil. And what we're going to do next is we're going to grab military. Put down the power all there. Now logistics has given us access to underground belt and splitters. And these are brilliant little contraptions, these are. What I'll do is I'll go grab some iron real quick, because I'm just about out of time. I'll also place some lights around in the break so that you guys can see at night time. Oop, throw that down quickly while we're here. 4 mines on copper in the early game is possibly a bit excessive. Okay, so we have underground belt, right? It takes a normal belt to build, but what you can do is you can take a belt and you can actually make it go underground, hence the name. Very, very handy. So there we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I'll stop for today. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, where we continue to work on the upgraded furnace.